pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What?
There was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down. If you actually knew what they did to me, there was a bounty on my head, there was a bunch of stuff.
So do you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely I am.
His mother was trying to do something, and his mother was saying something, and the Nick slapped his mom.
Hell in 2024, it's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. Any of them, all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
There is no way in hell Diddy's mother doesn't know what happened to Kim Porter. And if you ask someone like Katt Williams, he believes Janice Combs is the most criminal woman in the industry ever. You see, right from the first day Kim died, there have been multiple questions about the manner in which she died. Her autopsy said pneumonia, but all the circumstances surrounding it suggested foul play. All the way from how her body was positioned to the coroner in charge of her case being kicked out on Diddy's orders and then being replaced by another coroner who was reportedly handpicked by Diddy. Janice was there while all this mess happened, and word on the street is she was allegedly the one who helped Diddy pick the coffin a month in advance. In fact, it's been revealed that not only did she introduce Diddy to freak-offs when he was still a youngin', he had all his money transferred to her name as soon as he was arrested. And as we speak, his kids are reportedly lawyering up to drag her to court because she's hoarding over $400 million of his money and refusing to give them a share.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said it was ruled a homicide and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. Then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was survivors and the late of Uptown Records. They were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest motherfucker, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning, gone. Just him.
Now, in case you've not heard about Janice, she has pretty much been described by multiple insiders as the backbone of Diddy's evil deeds. Diddy's father, Melvin Combs, died when Diddy was just 2, after getting unalived in a gang-related beef. Apparently, Janice wasn't making enough money as a teacher, so she reportedly started hosting full-blown freak-off parties in the same house she was living in with Diddy. And guess what? He saw all of it go down. So in the Peacock documentary, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy, which featured Diddy's childhood friend Tim Patterson, Tim said Janice used to have illicit parties that substance dealers attended, and these weren't just regular parties. Diddy would literally wake up in the middle of the night to strangers humping each other. At night, it wouldn't be a thing to mistakenly walk into one of the bedrooms, and you got a couple in there without clothes on. And these rumors got fueled when a disturbing video of him and Janice kissing each other on the lips started to go viral. This wasn't a regular mom and son type of kiss. There was no difference in the way he was kissing her to how he was kissing Daphne Joy in that just-released freak-off tape. And it wasn't just the kiss that had people talking. People also noticed that Janice had white painted nails. And for anyone who forgot, white nails were something Diddy specifically required Cassie to wear during their freak-offs. Cassie addressed it directly in her lawsuit. The lawsuit read, Diddy required Cassie to dress up in lingerie, wear white nail polish to contrast with the skin of the black workers, and cover herself in oil. And it doesn't stop there. Because beyond the allegations about Janice herself, she was also called out for allegedly being Diddy's shield, helping him protect his secrets and keep everything buried over the years. Now, as most of y'all know by now, Diddy has been accused of robbing nearly every artist who came through Bad Boy Records blind. But the one person who has never let him forget it is Mase. They went at it back in 2020 after Mase publicly called Diddy out for only cutting him a $20,000 check for his entire run at Bad Boy. Mase also revealed that he had offered Diddy over $2 million to buy back his publishing rights, but Diddy turned him down flat and told him the only way he'd consider selling was if Mase could match an offer he had already received from a European investor. According to Mase, the one person who has receipts on every single thing Diddy has ever done is Janice. He even said Diddy put all his assets in Janice's name so he could protect himself in case anything happened.
I did it. Told my he want receipts. Let's start with your mother. Your mother got the receipts.
Everything is in your mother's name. That's the one who got the receipt. You need more proof? Biggie ain't here, so Big can't give you no receipts. He dead. Craig Mack can't give you receipts. He dead. What are you talking about? Who else? Black Rob can't give you receipts. He dead. And everybody else you made sign paperwork so they can't talk about what I'm talking about. I'm the only one with the guts. You're not signing, because I ain't need the money. All money ain't good money. Remember that.
Now, it might sound crazy to y'all that Diddy would just throw all his money under his mother's name, but he actually did. And now that he's rotting off in prison, it's causing major problems in the family because Janice has all the say when it comes to how much money is spent and who spends it. According to reports, his children are lawyering up to seize control of his $400 million fortune from his mother, Janice Combs. A source close to his family literally said this court case could ruin the entire family if they go through with it. You've got massive egos and hundreds of millions on the line. It's not just going to get ugly, it's going to get explosive. According to Rolling Stone, reports and court filings reviewed by legal journalists show that Diddy moved significant holdings, including stakes tied to Bad Boy Entertainment assets and real estate, into Janice Combs' name following his September 2024 arrest. But here's the thing, y'all. New claims being made by Katt Williams seem to suggest that not only did Janice do all these shady things to help Diddy, she might have also had a hand in Kim being unalived. On November 15, 2018, Kim Porter was found unresponsive at age 47 in her home. Now, after conducting an autopsy, the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner officially confirmed in January 2019 that Kim Porter had died from lobar pneumonia, but the circumstances of her death proved otherwise. So much so that her baby daddy, Al B. Shore, blatantly called it BS right after it was announced, and then later went on an interview to outrightly make claims that he believed she was mistreated and unalived by Diddy with the help of Janice. He even said he believed all the health emergencies he suffered in the past years were allegedly orchestrated by Diddy and Janice to silence him. Just found this footage from the morning I learned of Kim Porter's unaliving and how it ripped the soul from my physical body. I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's some BS.
So you were in that coma in 2022. You had the liver transplant, you had the tracheotomy, I mean, all that stuff that went on.
Multi-system organ failure.
Yeah,
60.
right. Have they figured out what happened yet?
We will.
No, I mean, have the doctors medically, like, what happened to you?
Yeah, what happened? So,
because you just collapsed, right?
Yeah, so, you know, just mysteriously out of the blue, you know, which we do talk about in the book.
Yes,
what that,
I want to get into that.
What that process is. But yeah, so it's been quite a journey. And as I said, you know, even as it relates to writing the book, I went through many, almost, you know, more than a decade of being scrutinized and clowned by law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Really? What's wrong with you? No way, you know, just, but not realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Because you were hinting, saying,
posting,
yeah.
I get calls, take it down or else, so on and so forth.
But this is about Diddy, so let's train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago, I posted some information that was, you know, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, you know, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, you know, kind of warned me all along the way to, you know, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy?
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, you know, all having a great time, and I'm, you know, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop, you know. Mm-hmm. So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was, a lot of the stuff, you know, came to surprise, but a lot of the stuff will be revealed because, and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me, participate and so on and so, but I said, listen, I have no interest in speaking about another man.
But you are in the book.
Yeah, right. But this, I will speak about where our paths cross. and what's most relevant, and something I've been trying to say for many, many years. And unfortunately, Roseanne, even with Sean being incarcerated, that's not a celebration. There's no celebration in it. First and foremost, there's way too much collateral damage, and in many, many ways.
I think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure.
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
My first time saying it.
Are you concerned?
Now, when it comes to the exact shady circumstances in Kim's death, well, it all goes back to this since-deleted article published by the Hollywood Street King that said Kim was actually found on her bed with red fluid on her pillowcases and a slight trail of red fluid on the bedroom floor that led to the bathroom. She was also strategically placed on the bed to mess with the police investigation. And if all of that still wasn't enough to cast serious doubt on the pneumonia narrative, the coroner who was originally assigned to her case, Ed Winter, concluded that her death was actually a homicide after discovering toxins in her body. But right before he could go public with his findings, he was pulled off the case entirely and replaced by a second coroner who was picked by Diddy. That second coroner threw out everything Ed had found and simply ruled that Kim died of pneumonia, even though Kim's own family and her personal doctor both stated she had no prior health conditions that would have made her vulnerable to something like that.
Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia.
Now, this isn't the first time Katt Williams has alluded to Diddy being capable of taking a life. In fact, back in 2024, a few months after his infamous interview with Shannon Sharpe, Katt did another interview with GQ where he said he seemingly accused Diddy of being behind Tupac's death. He said, and I quote, "I loved Tupac, and I felt like we were kindred spirits. So if I hear you are responsible for knocking my man off, I don't care what job I end up being in. I don't care how things go. If I can get a way to get you, that's what I'm all about. I just don't like you walking around scot-free, 'cause you a demon. And I know demons are powerful, but I know why they're powerful. It's cold spiritual warfare going on out here in the real world. And part of my job is to not lose focus on that." One person said, "The diddler is responsible for the death of Kim Porter. The first coroner ruled her death as suspicious, and he was removed from the case, and it was the second coroner who ruled her death as natural due to pneumonia. That alone is super shady. And she was the third person close to Diddy who is connected to Uptown Records. Too many coincidences if you ask me." Another person said, "Diddy ordered Kim's casket 3 months before Kim's death." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Katt Williams finally speaking on Kim's death? And do you really think Diddy and Janice had some involvement in how Kim's died? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.